what might be one of the most challenging and mind-stretching concepts I've come across in a while. Today, we're looking at a fascinating paper by S C Sayles. It's got quite a title, The Vacuum That Is Not Empty Toward an Information Field. Ontology of Light Propagation. Whew, that's a mouthful, right? But the question at the core is actually super interesting. Is empty space, what physicists call the vacuum, actually empty? Or is there something deeper lurking underneath, something that actually allows light to travel from point A to point B? Now, why does this matter? I mean, for centuries, thinkers from Aristotle to Einstein to, well, quantum field theorists have debated what the vacuum really is. Is it nothing? Is it full of mysterious, invisible stuff? Is it somehow both? For physics, this is huge. It's not just philosophy for the sake of philosophy. How we think about the vacuum has consequences for everything from light speed to quantum weirdness to what makes reality tick. So, let's see what Sayles brings to the table here. Alright, so let me try to summarize what's going on. Historically, people thought light needed some kind of material to travel through, like sound needs air, the aether, they called it. But experiments in the 19th century pretty much debunked this idea, and by the early 20th century, Einstein's relativity painted the vacuum as a kind of, structured nothingness, a smooth space-time fabric. Fast forward to modern quantum physics, and the word vacuum gets even stranger. Even what we think of as empty space is swarming with energy fluctuations, and particles pop in and out of existence. So, is the vacuum nothing, or not? Sayles argues in no uncertain terms that physics has never really filled this ontological gap. We've killed the ether, he says, but replaced it with something that is scientifically vague and philosophically unsatisfying. Instead, Sayles proposes a new idea, the information field, or IDF for short. Okay, so what does that actually mean? Well, instead of a mechanical or material medium, this field encodes the laws of physics itself. It's not made of stuff like the old ether, but is rather informational, like a kind of cosmic operating system. And, here's the twist, Sayles actually grounds this idea theologically, suggesting that this information field is authored and sustained by the Logos. That's a term from Christian theology, the Word as divine order. But, whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The important thing, the tangible insight, is this. Sayles highlights a bunch of experimental data and quantum phenomena, the Casimir effect, vacuum fluctuations, quantum entanglement, things like the Lamb shift, that all point to the vacuum not being empty after all. Like, if you put two plates really close together in a vacuum, they feel a force from vacuum energy jostling between them, the Casimir effect. You see energy levels shift in atoms thanks to empty space. So is the vacuum truly empty, or is it hiding deep structure? Sayles insists that these clues, these weird real-world observations, support the idea that what we call the vacuum is actually an information field. Sayles' claim is that this IDF field renders all those strange behaviors, like how light can act like a wave and a particle simultaneously, or how entangled particles can communicate instantly, less mysterious. The information field provides the substrate, the background medium, but it's non-material and authored by the Logos. Now, he draws on thinkers like John Wheeler, who famously said, "it from bit," the idea that reality is, at root, information, and others like Gitt and Hoffman, who argue that information, not material stuff, is truly fundamental. There's even this suggestion that our perceptions are just interfaces to a deeper informational reality. Like, wow, is that reassuring or unsettling? Sometimes both. So what could this mean for you? Well, at the most basic level, it's a prompt to question our assumptions. When we talk about nothing, maybe there's really something. If you're fascinated by how light travels or what makes the laws of nature actually operate, This paper suggests that instead of empty space, we might be living inside a universe underpinned by a sea of information. What that means for physics, philosophy, or honestly, how we make sense of the everyday world, Sayles offers a bold and, honestly, pretty sweeping proposal. The vacuum is not empty, he says. It's the fullness of an information field, not mechanical, not subtle matter, but a structured non-material field authored by the Logos. He argues this could explain some stubborn paradoxes in modern physics and ground our understanding of light propagation in something more coherent and possibly meaningful.